interested to recognize that Brahma, the seekers of Brahma and the speakers of Brahma also, Satatam, constantly chant at Om and then perform this Kriya. Even before we begin our class or before we begin our puja or anything, we chant that Om and then we perform that Kriya. Now this is one simple meaning which is indicated here. You chant Om before you perform Yajna Dana Tapa Kriya. Then that Yajna Dana Tapa will become complete, will become good. It's like adding tulsi leaf to it, it will become more pure. But just chanting Om itself is not what is meant here. What is meant is, before we commence, we should keep in our mind Om. Om, as I said, indicates that supreme reality in its most glorious form, in its transcendental form, in its most glorious form. Om. Om iti etad Brahma. And Om is our goal. Om is what we have to recognize as our own self. See, in Mandukya Upanishad, this Om is explained in detail. Those who want to understand Om, it cannot be understood by the poster we stick on our wall. It can be understood by studying Mandukya Upanishad. Om, there it is indicated that Om is Brahma and Om is Atma, name of Atma. So that Brahma or Atma expresses in our life as experience. Whatever we experience is Om only. Whatever we experience is actually that Brahma. Just like if I make different dolls of sugar and I taste those different dolls, all of them will taste sweet only. Whether the dolls are made in the form of a horse or a donkey or a buffalo or a giraffe, all of them will taste sweet. Similarly, all our experiences are ultimately the experiences of that supreme reality only. So our experiences are divided into 4 groups. All our experiences can be classified into 4. Waking experience, dream experience, deep sleep experience, and experience of the state of meditation. Many don't know the 4th, but 3 at least we know. So waking state is when we become aware, when we are aware of our body and through our senses we are aware of the world outside fully. Then that is the waking state experience, and whatever one experience, we experience this vast cosmos, all that we experience in the waking state is indicated by that Om, by the initial sound A. So A indicates the waking state. Then we have another experience called dream, wherein slowly we withdraw our attention from this world. We are no more aware of the world through our senses, totally withdrawn, and it is withdrawn into our mind. The senses are withdrawn into our mind, but the mind has not gone to sleep. Mind projects images, it starts imagining, and its imagination is so vivid that it appears real. So that projection of the mind which one experiences when our attention is withdrawn from these senses, that is our dream experience. That is also indicated by Om and U, the sound U. And then we have we withdraw, the mind also is withdrawn, the senses are also withdrawn, and all of them merge into a state of total ignorance, total inertia, tamogun, wherein there is no awareness of the world or anything. That is the, but still it is an experience. When we wake up, we say, oh, I slept so well. So that is called the deep sleep state and indicated by the sound ma. And in Om, once you finish chanting that Om, there is silence. That is also part of Om. That silence is also part of Om. And that silence indicates the Turiya Avastha, the state of meditation, which anybody who experiences that becomes free of all bondage. Anybody who experiences it becomes free, gets liberated. So that is the state, what you call Turiya. It is indicated by the silence. So Om indicates the Supreme Brahma, which is not different from my own self, which transcends the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti Avastha, plus it is the very substratum of the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. It is the witness of the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. So that Om, when we chant or when we remember, we should remember our own real nature, which is what we have to assert, which is what we have to recognize, which is what we have to experience ultimately. So that is indicated by Om. So when we chant Om, it is meant to remember my own real nature, devoid of all conditionings, that unconditional nature. So what does it mean? That before you undertake any activity, whether it is yajna, dana, tapa, which involved interaction with the world, which involved so many things which we have seen, Bhagavan says, you remember Om and then you do. Like in 8th chapter, Bhagavan had told Arjuna, Mam anusmara yudhyacha. Same thing is said here. Remember Om and then you perform your action. As in bhakti literature or in our common language or saints and all say, remember God and then you perform your action. Like Hanumanji, before going to Lanka, he remembered the Lord, he kept him in his heart and then he went to Lanka. And he could do his work without any obstacles, without any problem. See, when we remember God and when we perform our action, then that itself, it's such a powerful thing that it negates our ahankar, our pride, our attachments, our jealousies. All this automatically get negated. You don't have to specially put forth effort. If my remembrance and my understanding of Om is kept in my heart, then it negates all other thoughts from my mind. And when all this negative and other thoughts are eliminated, whatever actions are performed becomes good, becomes sattvic. That even if the actions are tamasic and rajasic in nature, in the sense if we have, our nature is like that, that person, if he intensely remembers and identifies and with Om and then performs, then even that action becomes sattvic. Not that we purposely do tamasic action and try to remember. It is, one should not try to trick. But it is said that even like the example of a butcher is also there in our scripture somewhere, that even that action he was doing because it was his traditional action coming down from his family, but he was a great devotee of the Lord. So constantly remembering God he is to do whatever action. So that action becomes pure. One should strive to perform good action. But even when we perform good actions, there remains some defect here and there. Because in the 18th chapter also Bhagavan will say that every action has got its inherent defect. Just like every fire will have some smoke in it. So every action has got some defect. So if we remember our own supreme nature and then perform, then those defects get eliminated. So this remembrance, what is Bhagavan say, utterance means remembering should be proper. See, the term remember is also very interesting. It has got re and member. So first we should make him the member. Then only you can remember. In the sense, first you should understand that Om, then you can remember. Remembrance is of the known. We don't remember something unknown. Remembrance is of that which we have experienced before, not that which is not experienced. So during our day-to-day life, we should try to understand and bring that attitude and understanding of Om in our heart and keep it constantly. Because every moment is like yajna dana tapa. So keep that Om constantly in our heart and perform our action. Then that action becomes sattvic. So tasmad Om iti udharhritya yajna dana tapa kriyaha pravartante vidhanoktaha. So according to the vidhan, according to the scriptures, whatever enjoined karmas are there, yajna dana tapa, should be performed satatam, are performed constantly by the students of Brahma, by the seekers of Brahma. And how do they perform? By remembering Om, they perform. And that is what as seekers we should do. And this is the most beautiful and simple sadhana which Bhagavan has given here. Perform, do your duties remembering your own supreme nature. Or in other words, do your duties remembering God. Remembering God doesn't mean keep a picture of God. That is just a symbol. It's like remember your country. It doesn't mean that remember the flag. Remembering country is not remembering flag. Remembering country is a big thing. Flag is just representing that country. Remembering God is not remembering some murti. Remembering God. Don't confine, don't limit God in a little idol. God is big. So remembering God, remembering our own nature, which is indicated as Om, we should perform all karmas. And what all karmas? Yajna dana tapa. That is our karma. That is our duty. More about this yajna dana tapa we will see in the 18th chapter. It will come again. So yajna dana tapa is like all our duty, all our duties. So pravartante vidhanokta satatam brahmavadina. Now after telling us about Om, Bhagavan says how you should then keep in mind Tat, because Om is there, Tat and Sat. All three should be remembered while performing action. So Om we should remember before beginning the action, but Tat we should remember while performing action. And that how it is indicated now in the next verse. Tadityanabhisandhaya phalam yajnatapakriyaha dana kriyascha vividhaha kriyante moksha kangshivihi tadityanabhisandhaya phalam yajnatapakriyaha हाँ, तद इति अभिसंधाय phalam, without having attachment to the result of the action, one should, remembering tat, one should perform yajna tapakriyaha, the action of yajna and tapas, which we have seen in detail, and dana kriya, and also dana, charity, vividhaha, of variety of nature of charity, and dana, dana and yajna tapa is done, kriyante, are performed by moksha kangshibihi, those who desire moksha. So those who desire liberation, see, when we are in this world, now we are identified with the body, interacting with the world, and we are as though confined in our body and this world. It's like that itself is called bondage. The infinite personality, the infinite nature is as though confined in a limited personality. It's like the whole space is packed into a small vessel. It cannot be packed, but the space feels that it is packed. So similarly, we are bound by our limited personality, what we call ego. Ego is our bondage, our false personality, our avatar, in computer language if you have to say. Every day we change the profile of the ego, नया नया पिक्चर लगा देते हैं.